Hi, Aries. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for December of 2020. This month's re-examination of your worldview can bring answers in a natal and transit reading with one of us, and we'd love to see you for that. Fortunately, we've got lots of forward motion this month as planets that have been retrograde have gone direct. Woohoo! Julia, you want to start us off with Mercury, Venus, and Mars?
Oh, yes, I do. Well, hey there, Aries. So I'll start with Mercury. That's the planet of communication, the planet of mentation. And it was recently retrograde last month. So good news is that it's moving forward. And on December 1st, the very beginning of the month, it's going to jump into your ninth house. The ninth house is the house of travel, the house of higher mind, education, legal matters too. And wherever we have Mercury is where we apply a lot of our thinking. So this is a wonderful transit if you're in school or if you need to learn anything new, because the ninth house can stimulate your higher mind, and it's also associated with education of all types. And it's also a very philosophical house as well. So truly, your higher mind is being very, very stimulated right now, where you might just kind of want to sort of think about belief systems or metaphysics or anything that's very broadening. And if you're involved in any legal disputes, then you're going to be very focused on them too during this cycle. Now, Venus, the planet of art, relationships, and beauty, on December 15th also enters your ninth house as well. So for the first half of the month, she's going to be in your eighth house, which is a house that really signifies a lot of deep physical intimacy. And wherever we have Venus is where we find some pleasure. So, if you're in a relationship during that time, you're going to be finding ways to kind of merge even more deeply with your partner, whether that's financial, psychological, even sexual. Then, after on the 15th, when she jumps into the ninth house, you're going to have a much more lighthearted approach to your relationships because the ninth house is so adventurous. If you're single, then you actually might get a crush on somebody who comes from a really, really different background than you, because the ninth house rules foreigners as well. And finally, Mars is in the sign of Aries, which correlates with your first house of self all month. However, it's been in Aries for a long, long time, and it has finished its whole retrograde cycle. It moved in there in July and then was retrograde for a little while. So it's starting to pick up some speed. And as Mars is in the first, it really is going to highlight how you personally assert yourself, because you're literally embodying Mars energy. So, if you've had if you've been involved in a number of sort of skirmishes over the past few months, a lot of these conflicts are going to slowly start to resolve. And next year is going to start where will be a whole new, brand new, fresh start for you too.
Yeah, that's going to feel so good after all of the stress and conflict that's been going on during this year and the way that it peaked in November. December is going to be a month of real shift. Mars moving through and finishing out Aries. And then also Saturn and Jupiter are moving into Aquarius this month, right around the middle of the month. So there's a state-based shift going on here. Here's Jupiter at the end of Capricorn, Saturn at the end of Capricorn. And watch them move. Boom, there goes Saturn right there. And Jupiter follows pretty quickly thereafter. We've made videos about this. They are in the November 2020 news playlist, discussing how it's going to feel as Jupiter and Saturn move into Aquarius and what manner of shift that's going to be. For Saturn, bringing tests, this is going to be about 2.5 years of testing, particularly for activists and tribalists. Jupiter moving into Aquarius is going to bring some expansion to these areas. And one thing that might impact in particular is technology. During the course of the year, Jupiter will move out into Pisces briefly, but then back into Aquarius, and it'll be leaving Aquarius at the end of 2021. So it's going to be a Jupiter and Aquarius year in general. Now, just a little bit later in the month, the Sun finishes out Sagittarius season and moves into Capricorn season, which is representative of the deepest of winter and that feeling of needing to sort of, contract and curl up and try to find some warmth in the cold. There are a couple of moons to talk about this month. December 14th brings a new moon, which is also an eclipse. It's a solar eclipse in Sagittarius, and you can see it right here in the 9th house for you, Aries. We call this moon worldview, beliefs, and resilience because it offers a choice between being opinionated and being tolerant. These are Sagittarian traits. Eclipses tend to be rather intense, so definitely watch out during that eclipse and the couple of days surrounding it. December 29 at the end of the month brings the other moon that we have this month, which is a full moon in Cancer, and we're calling it balancing, healing, and taking action. And you can see that that moon falls in your 4th house of home and family, domestic life, heritage, and roots, opposite to the sun in Capricorn up here in your 10th house of career and authority and self-discipline and excellence. This moon features some pretty strong Chiron activity squaring that moon. And so this is why the themes of healing are there. So you're going to experience this mostly across that axis of home life, personal life versus career, and how do you find that balance, and how do you assert yourself in ways that will help you to find that balance. So that's what we have for you, Aries. I hope you enjoyed it. You will always find our horoscopes on our horoscope page on our website, pandoraastrology.com. You will also find them gathered into playlists on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology. And you'll also find the news of the month on our YouTube channel. And you might want to check that out and find those videos on Jupiter and on Saturn, and also our video this month on the combination of Jupiter and Saturn and what that conjunction means and how it's going to last. You'll find that in our December 2020 news playlist. If you enjoyed this video, please do sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next month, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.